straight to business. Stephen is with us here on set. Going to start with Uber. Another hit with another high-profile resignation, Stephen.
Just hours after CEO Travis Kalanick announced that he was taking an indefinite leave of absence from the ride-hailing firm, another board member has been forced to resign over a sexist remark. David Bonderman was speaking during a staff meeting discussing how Uber should move on from a damning investigation into harassment at the firm. He joked that having more women on the board would mean more talking. He since apologised for the comment, saying that it was inappropriate and has stepped down from his position. The timing couldn't be worse for Uber, though, as an inquiry conducted by the former US Attorney General Eric Holder found there was little protection for employees from bullying. Charles Pellegrin reports.
I had no idea.
Paying the price for a toxic work culture. As a result of the report he ordered into allegations of harassment at Uber, CEO Travis Kalanick will be taking some time away from the company. As he explained in a letter to employees, the recent passing of his mother also played a part in the decision.
Recent events have brought home for me that people are more important than work, and that I need to take some time off the day-to-day to grieve my mother, whom I buried on Friday, to reflect, to work on myself, and to focus on building out a world-class leadership team.
The private investigation, headed by former Attorney General Eric Holder, produced a list of 47 recommendations for the startup, based on over 200 interviews and 3 million documents, all of which were adopted by Uber's board. These include performance reviews to hold senior managers accountable, and the introduction of metrics to improve diversity and grade managers on their responsiveness to employee complaints. The report was commissioned after a former Uber engineer wrote a blog post about how the company ignored sexual harassment and gender discrimination complaints. This and several other reported incidents showed Uber to have a work culture where misogyny and aggressive behavior were rife. The scandal and the departures of several top executives have also underscored the company's difficulties in turning a profit.
Let's turn to China now. Trouble at the insurance giant Anbang.
The company says that its chairman, Wu Xiaohui, is unable to perform his duties amid reports that he's been detained by regulators. Anbang has been under scrutiny by Chinese authorities after going on a massive spending spree that included buying New York's Waldorf Astoria hotel for $2 billion. Now, the financial magazine Caijin say that he was taken away on Friday by officials from China's Insurance Regulatory Commission. The company statement says that Mr. Wu was absent for personal reasons.
Let's have a look at the markets then. What's happening, Stephen?
Well, that story having an impact on trading in Asia today. Anbang is a big investor in Chinese markets, and the firms like the property developer Gemdale have seen their shares fall sharply in trading after that report that the chairman of Anbang had been detained. Also, confidence being dented in China by some tepid economic data. You can see the Shanghai Composite down by 0.75%, falls on the Hang Seng and Hong Kong as well. Just the Nikkei in Tokyo seeing some small gains. I look now at some more of the day's business stories for you. The owner of the clothing chain Zara has seen its profits rise by almost 20% in the first 3 months of the year. Spanish group Inditex, which is the world's biggest fashion retailer, saw sales rise by 12% once currency changes were discounted. It earned €654 million for the period of the first quarter.
Now finally from Stephen, a researcher in the US has found out how supermarket shoppers are facing many more decisions than ever before.
Shoppers in the US have on average more than 40,000 items available to them on supermarket shelves. Some 40,000 more than they did in the 1990s. The author, Michael Ruman, has studied the $650 billion a year supermarket industry in the US and found that 20 years ago, there would be around 7,000 items on sale in an average grocery store. That now goes as high as 50,000 items. This, of course, down to increased consumer buying power, increased choices like things like gluten-free options being available on supermarket shelves. I have no idea how you decide what to buy.
No.
Go in with a list.
There certainly wouldn't be room for 50,000 items in the supermarket that I go in. But anyway, quite small here in the centre of Paris. Anyway, thanks, Stephen. Stephen with Business on France 24.